Is it still going on, Sam?
Well, as recently as 2020, like I said, there were hundreds of potential child sexual exploitation cases being referred to West Mercia Police. That's also in the report. I believe it was 271 that were referred to West Mercia Police. As recently as 2019, nationwide, it was 17,800, I believe, cases of potential CSE that were reported in towns and cities like Telford. This isn't a problem that's gone away, and they can parrot the same old lines, the Council of Police and Social Services can, that, that lessons have been learned and these are mistakes of the past. But no, girls on the ground in areas like Telford know all too well that the culture of victim blaming, of ignorance, silence and shame perpetrated by those that are meant to protect young girls hasn't gone away, and that lessons won't be learned until serious changes happen from the top. There needs to be accountability from those in the highest levels of office, both former and current, and recognition that they failed. They failed girls, they continue to fail girls, and they need to take serious, substantive measures in order to change the way that they deal with victims and perpetrators in CSE cases.
Well, no, I don't know, but I mean, I do know that a substantial number of the victims were in care. I don't know whether they amount to a majority of the victims, but I do know that the number of kids in care in Britain is rocketing at the moment. The social services, for whatever reason, well, we know some of the high-profile cases of abuse by parents and guardians, and when that happens, the pendulum swings. Social services less inclined to leave vulnerable children in the care of their parents, put them into a care home. And that's fine up to a point, but we know from the data that the outcomes in care homes can often be pretty lousy, and we know that many of the victims, and I'm sure you'll know whether it's a majority of the victims, were in care when they were abused.
What I know is that the girls that fall victim to crimes like CSE, Telford is, by the way, the child sex crime capital of the UK. The rate of child sex crimes in Telford is over double that of the national rate. Nationally, it's 7.9 per 10,000. In Telford, it's 16.4 per 10,000, and that's with a population of around 160,000. Telford is a very small town, so for sex crimes to be happening on such an industrial scale in our town speaks to there being a deep-rooted problem across all authorities that are supposed to protect children. I was under social services from the age of 15. I flitted out in and out of different supported accommodations, children's home, etc., etc. And I definitely felt that vulnerable children were ignored and almost seen as problem cases waiting to happen, criminals in waiting. We were treated as though we had no real prospects, and it was a case of trying to keep us out of jail rather than help us to aspire to succeed beyond our status in life. I think that's what makes girls in areas like Telford so easily preyed upon, is because they are already vulnerable. They don't have the traditional support networks that those from middle class or upper class families would have, and therefore when they fall victim, they once again don't have those around them to defend them, and it's easier for councils and local authorities to sweep them under the rug.